Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Kazir White has finally made the decision and officially signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, and the news has already started shaking NFL circles like a storm. Expectations are sky high, and fans are buzzing, imagining how he will transform the team's linebacker core, which until now has been searching for more consistency and aggression in defense. White's arrival represents not just a physical boost, but also a strategic one, as we're talking about a player who combines speed, game reading, and reaction skills at a level few linebackers can match. The Raiders clearly didn't hold back in their search for someone who could give a fresh face to the defensive unit, and White's signing shows ambition and long-term planning. Behind the scenes at the stadium, rumors are flying that the head coach is thrilled about the possibility of designing more complex schemes, using White in different game situations, both against the pass and the run. This is the kind of signing that changes a team's narrative, and it's no exaggeration to say that fans have already started envisioning games with decisive interceptions and impossible tackles. Moreover, White's track record of positioning himself well and reading opposing offenses gives the impression that the Raiders are ready for a more aggressive and intelligent era in defense, something that has been missing in recent years and could finally put the team in the spotlight in the conference race. The impact of Kazir White in the locker room cannot be underestimated because he arrives with the reputation of a quiet leader, one who commands by example rather than words. Insiders say his presence is expected to inspire not only the linebackers, but the entire defense, creating a healthy, competitive environment essential for a team aiming for titles. In practice, the expectation is that White will set an intense pace, demanding maximum focus from all teammates, while also raising everyone's level, which should foster collective improvement. Another aspect that stands out is his versatility. He's not just a traditional linebacker, but someone capable of covering tight ends, supporting the secondary in pass situations, and still assisting against opposing rushes, opening a range of possibilities for the coaching staff. Rumors suggest that the Raiders management sees White as a key piece for the coming years, and the financial and strategic investment made was significant, increasing the pressure for immediate results. On social media, fans are already creating memes and celebratory videos, imagining spectacular tackles and game-changing interceptions. Behind the scenes, this signing could be the cherry on top in an offseason poised to be historic for the Raiders, changing perceptions both on and off the field and reinforcing the idea that the team is serious about becoming a lead protagonist. Kazir White's signing also sparks speculation about the future of other players on the roster, particularly those in the same position. Many insiders suggest that the arrival of such a high-profile player could trigger internal adjustments, whether tactical shifts or even potential transfers. This kind of buzz is typical in major teams reorganizing strategically, and the Raiders appear willing to maneuver multiple fronts to maximize White's impact. Moreover, White comes with a reputation for thriving under pressure, reinforcing the idea that he can be the defensive anchor in crucial games, especially against direct conference rivals. Fans have been debating his potential influence on practice intensity, mentoring young talents while demanding full concentration from veterans, a dynamic that often sparks heated discussions behind closed doors. Sports analysts are speculating about possible defensive shifts with White, imagining new blitzes, zone coverages, and individualized adjustments that leverage his athleticism and game intelligence. A player of his caliber arriving at the right moment could be the missing piece that transforms the Raiders' defense into a true wall against opposing offenses, crafting a narrative of a more competitive, strategic team aiming to contend consistently. Rumors indicate that coaches are planning exclusive sessions tailored for White, emphasizing his role as a game-changing addition in the revamped team structure. It's not just White's technical skills that excite the buzz. His psychological and emotional qualities are also being heavily discussed among fans and experts. Known for resilience and composure under pressure, White could instill confidence across the squad, creating a contagious sense of security in high-stakes moments where leadership often defines the difference between victory and defeat. Additionally, speculation suggests he might become a marketing and engagement figure for the franchise, extending his impact beyond the field and boosting the Raiders' visibility nationally. The timing of this signing, coming immediately after other strategic negotiations, makes it appear that management acted surgically, seizing a perfect window to acquire an immediate impact player. Behind the scenes, discussions about how to integrate White with minimal disruption to the existing squad are circulating, as coaches meticulously plan his role. Among fans, expectations for a near-instant transformation in defensive style, more aggressive tackles, sudden interceptions, and a confident stance in critical situations are high. This type of signing triggers intense debates across sports channels and social media, with speculation about turnovers, pass deflections, and leadership influence in a locker room. Clearly, White arrives carrying not just physical weight, but symbolic responsibility, promising to lead the defense and elevate the team's competitive level, while the Raiders strive to regain prominence and solidify a recognizable defensive identity capable of intimidating opponents and thrilling fans alike. The impact of Kazir White's signing has already reached specialized sports media, YouTube channels, and podcasts, generating waves of rumors regarding his immediate influence. Some cautious analysts question his adaptation and chemistry with new teammates, while the majority predict that he will transform the defense almost instantly, particularly against teams with heavy and complex offenses. This discussion fuels constant anticipation, increasing public interest and boosting the franchise's visibility. Additionally, social media chatter points to White's arrival as potentially reshaping future acquisitions, with management prioritizing complementary reinforcements to fully leverage his abilities, highlighting the strategic importance of his contract. Another rumor revolves around how opposing offenses might adjust to neutralize such a versatile and fast player, whose presence could directly influence passing, rushing, and play-reading decisions. Insider reports claim the Raiders' performance analysis team is preparing detailed charts and reports on White's style, projecting scenarios where he could generate turnovers and disrupt key plays. The narrative surrounding this move is intense, with fans imagining jaw-dropping tackles, last-second interceptions, and a defense finally taking center stage in games historically challenging for the team. The NFL landscape is watching every Raiders move closely, and Kazir White's signing did not go unnoticed, provoking comments even from executives of other teams. Many consider this acquisition a sign that the Raiders are ready to invest heavily to regain conference prominence, improving both roster quality and the franchise's perceived seriousness. Behind the scenes, speculation is rife about parallel negotiations, salary adjustments, and possible future maneuvers, as if White were the centerpiece of a meticulously planned chessboard. Analysts and commentators are buzzing about his potential impact, extending beyond stats to style of play, leadership, and cultural influence on the team, qualities few players achieve in their first season. Fans and experts have started drawing comparisons to other major league acquisitions, predicting turnovers, sacks in decisive games, and how he might intimidate opposing quarterbacks. Expectations are so high that any practice update or news about White immediately goes viral, creating an aura of suspense and excitement around the team. Rumors suggest his arrival may prompt defensive scheme changes used in previous games, emphasizing surprise blitzes, more efficient zone coverage, and individual adjustments based on his speed and tactical intelligence. The narrative around White is intense, and every detail of his arrival seems part of a larger puzzle affecting performance, team identity, and ambitions, making this signing a potential turning point in the franchise's recent history. The buzz around Kazir White's arrival has also stirred commentary from former players and sports personalities who eagerly share predictions and opinions on his immediate impact. On social media, ex-athletes praise his game-reading skills, speed, and physicality, emphasizing that the Raiders could be on the verge of a defensive transformation. Insiders indicate the coaching staff is planning special training sessions focused solely on White, aiming for quick integration into tactical systems to ensure his influence is felt from the season opener. Among fans, the anticipation is palpable, with heated debates about his most memorable plays and potential to become a standout name in the team's recent history. Speculation extends to defensive combinations with other linebackers, suggesting the head coach plans to leverage White's versatility in innovative ways, amplifying curiosity and excitement. Rumors indicate his presence may lead to adjustments in previously used defensive schemes, focusing on surprise blitzes, improved zone coverage, and individualized strategies reflecting his speed and football intelligence. Psychological impact is also noted, with expectations that White will inspire teammates to elevate performance levels and maintain intensity in both practice and games, reinforcing a strong competitive culture. The narrative forming around this signing is compelling, suggesting that Kazir White's arrival could transform not only the defense, but the team dynamic and fan perception of the Raiders' future, creating an atmosphere of suspense, anticipation, and optimism poised to last throughout the season. The excitement surrounding Kazir White's arrival continues to ripple across the NFL, with speculation about how quickly he will adapt to the Raiders' defensive schemes dominating conversations. Analysts are debating whether his presence will immediately alter the dynamics of linebacker rotations, or if the coaching staff will need a few games to find the perfect fit. Insiders suggest that White's intelligence on the field will allow him to assimilate complex playbooks faster than most, making him a potential anchor for defensive calls during high-pressure moments. Social media is abuzz with fans theorizing about the impact he could have in pivotal matchups, imagining scenarios where his awareness leads to game-changing plays. Reports indicate that his preparation routines are rigorous, involving extensive film study and conditioning drills designed to maximize reaction time and on-field intuition. The Raiders' defensive coordinator is reportedly crafting specialized schemes to exploit White's ability to read the quarterback's intentions, positioning him in zones where he can anticipate plays before they develop. Rumors are also circulating about potential positional experiments, suggesting White may line up in unconventional spots to disrupt offensive strategies. These discussions indicate that the Raiders are not only investing in talent, but also in creativity and tactical flexibility, using White as a cornerstone to revitalize a defense that has lacked consistency for years. The locker room buzz is just as intense, as teammates reportedly view Kazir White as both a motivator and a challenge, someone who pushes everyone to elevate their game. Veteran players are said to respect his professionalism and dedication, while younger players are reportedly eager to learn from his experiences and instincts. Rumors suggest that White has already begun informal mentoring sessions, sharing insights into reading offenses, anticipating quarterback tendencies, and making split-second decisions that could swing momentum in critical games. Fans have latched onto these stories, creating content on social media, speculating how White's leadership will influence not just defensive performance, but the culture of the team as a whole. There's talk that his approach to preparation, watching film, analyzing tendencies, and studying situational football will become a model for the entire defense. Coaches reportedly plan to leverage White's presence to instill a more disciplined, strategic mindset, emphasizing anticipation and reaction over brute force alone. Speculation also surrounds how White's arrival might influence team morale, potentially fostering a competitive yet collaborative atmosphere where players challenge each other to excel without creating tension. The narrative forming around White is that of a game changer, someone whose presence will elevate the team's defense from merely competent to strategically formidable, creating expectations that will dominate conversations throughout the season and fuel speculation about the Raiders' postseason prospects. Off the field, Kazir White's signing has become a major talking point in NFL media circles, with commentators debating his long-term influence on the Raiders' franchise identity. Analysts are speculating on how his reputation for discipline and preparation could reshape not only the defense, but also the perception of the team among fans and opponents. Social media channels are flooded with highlight reels, speculative breakdowns, and predictions about his first impactful plays, creating a cycle of excitement and expectation that feeds itself. Rumors suggest that White is already influencing off-season decisions, as the management considers additional signings to complement his skill set, ensuring that the defensive strategy fully leverages his versatility. Reports indicate that his conditioning regimen and film study habits are so rigorous that other players are reportedly taking notice, aiming to match his work ethic and focus. Analysts are also exploring how opposing offenses might adapt to his arrival, debating whether quarterbacks will attempt to avoid his area or if coordinators will need to disguise routes and blocking schemes to prevent his influence. These discussions highlight the multidimensional impact White is expected to have, extending beyond tangible stats to affect game planning, team culture, and fan engagement. The overall impression is that White's arrival is not just a single-player addition, but a catalyst for a comprehensive transformation, with the Raiders signaling a renewed commitment to defense-first strategies while generating endless speculation and buzz across media and fan platforms. The strategic possibilities with Kazir White in the lineup have become a hot topic among coaches and analysts alike. Rumors suggest that the Raiders are experimenting with new defensive alignments, placing White in hybrid roles to exploit mismatches and maximize his speed and intelligence. Analysts predict that his presence will allow for more aggressive blitz packages and creative coverage schemes, giving the defense the ability to confuse and pressure quarterbacks more effectively than in previous seasons. Fan speculation is particularly focused on how White's versatility might allow the Raiders to disguise assignments, leading to unexpected turnovers and momentum swings during critical moments. Social media chatter indicates that even casual fans are creating graphics and simulations of how White could impact game outcomes, reflecting widespread interest in his role. Behind the scenes, the coaching staff is reportedly analyzing his athletic profile to optimize positioning, timing, and reaction strategies in ways that could redefine linebacker responsibilities for the entire league. Rumors also hint at potential leadership influence in training, with White challenging teammates to raise their intensity and awareness while fostering a culture of accountability. The narrative being built paints him as a central figure in a defensive renaissance, one capable of transforming the Raiders into a feared unit capable of dictating the pace of games and turning defensive stops into defining moments. This buzz reinforces the perception that White is not just a signing, but a strategic linchpin, promising to elevate team performance, energize the fan base, and dominate conversations across sports media for months to come. The depth of Kazir White's influence extends beyond tactical considerations into psychological and cultural impact. Rumors indicate that his calm under pressure and disciplined approach are expected to stabilize locker room dynamics and inspire teammates to adopt a similar mindset. Analysts speculate that his leadership style, focused on example rather than rhetoric, could transform the team's mental approach to adversity, particularly in high-stakes games where composure is critical. Fans are actively discussing how White's mentality could translate into game-changing plays, imagining him orchestrating stops, reading opposing formations, and communicating adjustments that prevent big plays. Insider reports suggest that coaches are structuring practice sessions to maximize these qualities, emphasizing situational football, anticipation, and rapid decision-making. Social media trends highlight anticipation for how White will influence both rookie development and veteran performance, creating a ripple effect that may extend to the team's overall identity. Discussions about his potential impact on team cohesion and chemistry are ongoing, suggesting that White could serve as both a stabilizer and a motivator, encouraging accountability while fostering a competitive yet collaborative environment. The overall narrative portrays him as a transformative presence, someone who brings more than raw athleticism, a leader who could reshape the Raiders' culture, elevate defensive execution, and generate a renewed sense of purpose and identity for the team, all while fueling excitement and rumors among fans and analysts alike. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Raiders' defensive plans are reportedly undergoing a thorough reevaluation with Kazir White on board. Rumors suggest that coordinators are exploring innovative schemes that place him in flexible positions, allowing the team to disguise assignments and create mismatches. Analysts highlight how White's speed, intelligence, and versatility could allow for more aggressive blitz packages and complex coverage rotations, making it difficult for opposing quarterbacks to anticipate plays. Fans on social media are theorizing endlessly about how his presence could shift momentum in close games, imagining last-minute interceptions, forced fumbles, and tackles that change the outcome of pivotal matchups. Insider reports suggest that White is participating in intensive preparation sessions, studying opponents' tendencies and refining positioning strategies, indicating that the Raiders view him as a cornerstone of a defensive renaissance. Beyond technical considerations, speculation includes his influence on team culture, with expectations that his work ethic and professionalism will inspire other players to elevate performance, creating a feedback loop of improvement and accountability. The narrative surrounding White is multifaceted. He is both a strategic asset and a cultural catalyst, someone whose arrival has already sparked excitement, discussion, and speculation that will shape conversations about the Raiders' defense long before the first snap of the season, creating anticipation, drama, and high expectations among fans and commentators alike. Behind-the-scenes chatter also emphasizes Kazir White's potential as a mentorship figure for younger Raiders players. Rumors indicate that rookies and second-year players are already looking up to him, studying his approach to reading offenses, positioning, and anticipation. Analysts suggest that this informal guidance could accelerate their development, shortening the adjustment period to the NFL's speed and complexity. Social media buzz highlights fans' fascination with the idea of White as a linchpin in both performance and mentorship, speculating how his presence could foster a more cohesive, knowledgeable, and confident defensive unit. Insider reports hint that coaches are strategically placing him in roles that maximize both impact and visibility, ensuring that his influence is felt across the entire defense. Analysts also point to the potential ripple effect of this mentorship, suggesting that other veterans may follow suit, reinforcing a culture of preparation, accountability, and competitive intensity. Fans are theorizing about specific game scenarios in which White's guidance could manifest in turnovers, pressure sacks, or critical coverage adjustments, illustrating the level of attention and hope invested in his arrival. The narrative forming portrays White as more than just a talented player. He is envisioned as a transformative presence whose influence on team development, strategy, and morale could redefine what it means to be a Raider on defense, making him central to expectations for both immediate results and long-term growth. Speculation continues about how opposing teams might react to Kazir White's presence on the field. Rumors suggest quarterbacks and offensive coordinators will be forced to adapt game plans, altering routes and play designs to account for his speed, awareness, and versatility. Analysts are debating whether teams might attempt to isolate him or double cover him in certain situations, indicating the level of respect, or even concern, he commands before a single game has been played. Fans have created scenarios online, imagining matchups where White forces turnovers, disrupts timing, or even calls audibles that change the rhythm of an entire series. Insider information hints that the Raiders are leveraging this perceived threat strategically, using White in positions designed to maximize confusion and force mistakes from opposing offenses. Beyond tactical considerations, speculation extends to his psychological impact, with the narrative suggesting that his presence could intimidate opponents while simultaneously motivating teammates, creating a dual effect on game dynamics. Analysts are also noting how White's arrival could influence draft strategies, free agent signings, and overall defensive philosophy moving forward, highlighting the multi-layered impact of his addition. Collectively, this buzz paints White as a true game-changer, someone whose effect transcends stats, shaping team identity, opponent strategy, and fan anticipation in ways that will dominate discussion throughout the season. The narrative surrounding Kazir White now extends to potential milestones and legacy considerations. Rumors suggest that fans and analysts are already projecting his statistical impact, estimating tackles, sacks, and turnovers that could place him among the top defensive performers in the league. Social media speculation includes imagined highlight reels of pivotal moments where White alters game outcomes, reinforcing the perception that his arrival is transformative. Insider commentary points to his potential role in leadership, mentorship, and team culture, suggesting that his influence may be felt both on and off the field for years to come. Analysts highlight how the combination of athletic ability, intelligence, and preparation positions White to be not just a contributor, but a defining figure in the Raiders' defensive resurgence. Fans continue to theorize about the cascading effects of his signing, including increased media attention, strategic adaptability, and a strengthened team identity centered around discipline, anticipation, and aggression. Rumors also speculate on how his performance could affect playoff aspirations, off-season planning, and long-term roster decisions. The narrative framing White as a cornerstone and catalyst creates a sense of expectation that blends athletic potential with symbolic significance, making every Raiders game a subject of heightened analysis, discussion, and excitement. Overall, his signing has generated not just immediate buzz, but a pervasive sense of anticipation for both tangible results and transformative influence, shaping conversations in the NFL and among fans, analysts, and insiders alike. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.